the chat for the hearts that sustain us. Bringing the love where the waves crash and scatter. Words form a bond and they endlessly chain us. Kindness that matters. Voices arise and the flow never falter. Building a space where the ties last forever. Chat is the place where respect doesn't alter, holding us clever. Grateful are we for the sparks that ignite us. Chat lifts us up, every voice brings its power. Threads of goodwill through the storms that unite us. Hope we devour. Here in this space, every heart finds its meaning. Words weave a net where the world feels much kinder. Chat is the pulse, every moment redeeming, binding reminder. Grateful are we for the sparks that ignite us. Chat lifts us up, every voice brings its power. Threads of goodwill through the storms that unite us. Hope we devour.
Hey, you guys. Hi, Lupita. You win first in. Did you know we have a first in prize for the first person who shows up in chat? Oh my goodness, Orion. No, not my face. Not my face. It's like you haven't seen me all day. Orion has been adamant for the last 5 minutes that he get up in my lap and greet you guys. He is just doing so much better overall. So much better. No. Yeah. Not licking my face. You're not doing better licking my face. No. So how is everybody? Lupita, how are you doing? Yeah, I will show you the prize. Let me see if I can let me see. No, Orion. Oh my goodness, Orion. Yeah. No, don't lick my face. No, don't lick my face. Please. Don't lick my face. Please. No. Okay. Here it comes. Oh, this is lovely. Now let me find you. There you are. Scooter Mom, you've got a whole lot of Orion. He's absolutely insistent. Yeah, okay. Yeah. Oh my goodness. Yeah, I know. Lupita, if you send me an email, I will email you back this beautiful picture that is your prize for being first in today. What? I just went into the kitchen. No, not on my lips. Thank you. Oh, okay. Come on, down you go. That's a good boy. Oh my goodness gracious. Orion is a cat. My cats don't lick that much, Adam. My cats don't lick that much. Excuse me for a second, y'all. So, Lupita, isn't it beautiful? Cricket does the nicest work. Orion. Lupita, send me an email. Send me an email, Lupita, and I will forward you this picture. It is just for you. You are very welcome. Thank you for being the first person here. I think it's just lovely. There we go. Hi, Cricket. How are you? Lupita won first in. We were just talking about how lovely your picture was. And how much we liked it. There it is with me gone out of the corner for a minute. Cricket, bless his heart, does the prizes. I think this is the Dianetics pyramid, if I had to guess. Is that right, Cricket? Hold on just a second, you guys. I got to check on the pup. He ran off. It's just a made up. Okay. What kind of beaded bracelets, Scooter Mom? You're late because you were listening to another channel about Manson. They mentioned something to do with Scientology. Yeah, Manson and Scientology crossed paths. I don't remember the details. What kind of beaded bracelets, Scooter Mom? It's just a made up fantasy building. It didn't have any other specific meaning. I just wanted it to be surreal. Excellent. It's doing a great job of that. James Sharp and Doreen Gould. No, I have not. I have not heard of them. Oh my goodness, you guys. Anti-Sciento friendship. Nice. I have made some of those, Scooter Mom, but you're probably fine beating them. Are you making them with pony beads? Little seed beads, I mean? Pen. And I have the other kind of pen. Both kinds of pen. You're here. We're glad you're here, Brain Fog. How are you? I'm now invested in this soap opera of yours. I can't wait to hear the next episode tomorrow. Yeah, I need to pull up this book so we can take a look at it. What chapters did I say we were doing today? 5 through 8? What's it say that we're doing? What's it say that we're doing? It should say. Seven through 9. Okay. 7 through 9 it is. Stay golden, Pony Bead. Indeed, Adam, stay golden. I don't want her. So, what did you guys get out of these 3 chapters, 7, 8, and 9? What I got is I think the contrast between the official Scientology story and what we're being told is the actual story is so overwhelming. It's like completely 180 degrees. So the opening passage for chapter 7 says Hubbard broke up black magic in America because he was well known as a writer and philosopher and had friends among the physicists. He was sent in to handle the situation of black magic being practiced in a house in Pasadena occupied by nuclear physicists. He went to live at the house and investigated the black magic routes and the general situation and found them very bad. Hubbard's mission was successful, far beyond anyone's expectations. The house was torn down. Hubbard rescued a girl they were using. The black magic group was dispersed and never recovered. I think the saddest thing I've read in the book so far is the chapter, I think it's chapter 5, where his first wife is divorcing him. Paolo, how are you? His first wife is divorcing him, and he takes the woman who thinks she is his wife back home to live in his house. And the reaction of his family is just really, really sad. It struck me over and over and over again how Ron had this idyllic almost childhood of being doted on by everyone. And when one of the aunts said to the other, "I guess we loved him as a child, but I don't know who he is now," or something like that, it was really, really surprising to me. It was really surprising to me. Um, Not surprising. I mean, the best word isn't surprising. It was really sad. I mean, a lot of this, if we just look at the man with his symptoms, I'm sorry, Cricket. I am sorry about that. I'll make sure and call him Elron. Is that better, Cricket? I'll make sure and call him Elron. And yes, you redeem the name indeed. Good boy, Orion. Orion decided to. Hubbard was tormented by his own mediocrity. The interesting thing, Adam, is there was a time when everybody thought he was brilliant. He had some success. He could have continued to be successful as a science fiction writer. Um, I I can't quite figure. I mean, I can't quite figure out why he came out of the army and didn't go back home. It didn't. It didn't explain why he didn't go back home. Was it just because? I mean, there was no explanation for that. It was just that Polly, is it, his first wife, didn't want to move all the time. And apparently Elron wanted a different life than the one he'd had. Precious Roy, you are welcome in. Thank you for the song. Anybody can play. We are here together just to hang out. It's nice to meet you. He was a competent writer. He was an excellent con man, Adam. He was a pretty good con man. And clearly deeply mentally ill. Deeply mentally ill. It is hard. Well, if and considering the time and considering the depth of his mental illness, he's paranoid, he's got manic depression. I mean, he's a mess. And it seems like the military did make it worse. I mean, not that he saw any action, but the behavior before the military and after the military seems to have It seems to have gone to a different level after the military. That's what I mean. He seems to have taken it, the stories, everything. He seems to have taken everything to a new level. The cheating, the bigamy, I don't know. There definitely was something wrong with the man. And the level, l oh my god, you guys. Oh my goodness. Reading chapter 9, where he talks about what he did to his second wife regarding custody, kidnapping Alexis. It was Alexis, right? Away from her mother, and then being out to get people by throwing them under the bus during the McCarthy era. You guys are old enough to know what that meant, to throw somebody under the bus in the McCarthy era. That's pretty substantial kind of action. This is not, and this is the kind of behavior we see continue in Scientology. It's like the super personality of L. Ron Hubbard became Scientology. It his own personal theory of how to treat people. Take no prisoners, have nothing to do with me. I mean, and I didn't realize, I don't know if you guys did, I didn't realize Dianetics was so anti-woman. Did any of you guys know that? It's interesting. I'm curious to find out why and how, since Dianetics failed. He was an amoral dilettante in a hurry. Yes, that he was. Very amoral. Yes, Lupita, that's what I mean. It it feels like it changed. Not that it wasn't there to begin with, but oh my goodness gracious. It seemed to get worse. Maybe it's because you've been listening to it with Miss Kim. I didn't realize it. I mean, I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised at all. I'm curious. Yes, what is the, like, obsessed against abortion, and then Scientology goes and does all these forced abortions? Like, what the actual fuck, y'all? Abortion and fainting? How is it about fainting, Adam? He is obsessed with abortion. That's a whole nother level of wackadoodle. All women want to abort their babies. What? Hey, Antics, how are you? Yes, plenty of abuse. Plenty of abuse. So I'm curious to find out, since he ran the Dianetics Foundations into the ground, how in heaven's name did he manage to get a church off the ground? Hold on a second, y'all. I made some fudge right before we started. And I'm actually a little worried. When people pass out, they absorb negative engrams. You mean negative engrams just floating around? I need a cordless. a cord. Well, brain fog, I'm not sure it's going to come out because it's got to lower its temperature to about 110 degrees. And then you're supposed to beat it for like 10 minutes. But it's going to get to 111 degrees in the middle of the stream. And I don't have anybody else to beat it for 10 minutes. So it's going to go unbeaten. And I don't know what happens to fudge when it goes unbeaten. It is not bacon hour. I'm just in a little bit of pain, Antics. I didn't realize negative engrams just floated about, Adam. I'm in a little bit of pain, so I was doing a little bit of pain control. We missed bacon hour. I am canceling bacon hour probably for this quarter. You'll beat it with us? You'll beat it with me? I thought, well, you want me to go look and see? Let me go see. Hold on. I'll be right back. Let me check. It's not cold enough. It's not cold enough. not cold enough yet. Hey. Come on, lay down. Then you'd all be... Yeah, so 20 minutes and I'll go check. Now you're going to make me mail all y'all fudge. I'm only making £1. Yes, Scooter Mom. Yes. Even talking about concerns over the infant's development while still pregnant. It's mind-blowing. Like, what are you supposed to do? What are you supposed to do? If that's the case, then the way he's making examples that the infant could misunderstand and then present as the problem, I did figure y'all out. Anything you say could be interpreted that way. I mean, the only solution is to be completely silent, because any words you say could be misinterpreted if the words are going to be misinterpreted and remembered. If it's just anything you're saying, I don't know how that's supposed to work. Silent birth is mind-blowing. Yeah. Well, he was frantically improvising out of his own head and fucked up ideas. My goodness gracious. I look like a ghost today, y'all. I don't know what that is about. Maybe my lighting? No, it's the camera. I look like a ghost. Your thoughts would do it too. Yes. Exactly. Exactly. What, do you want up? Come on. Come on. Come on. Look at what we got, y'all. Hi, Bill. No, not my face. Thank you. Yeah, it's a good boy. No. I know. I know. Do you want that? Hold on. I know what you want. Okay, guys, give me a minute. Orion wants in his front pack. In your past life, you were a seance buster? That's so cool, Adam. Seance buster. So let me put the dog pack on. Okay. puppy wants in the front pack. So again, do you guys have any idea how it is? I'm really curious about this now. What it was different about Scientology that allowed him to be successful, whereas he hadn't been successful previously with Dianetics. A Radio Mets game, they were playing it in the birthing room. Your mom is a saint. Hey, I have news, guys. Do you know what I did on Friday? I did a big thing on Friday. I applied for graduation. I applied for graduation. It's a big milestone. Big milestone. And I am stressing big time. I wish I had L. Ron's writing skills. You're back, Lupita? Stop. Yes, that so they can do all the paperwork, run through all the checks, talk to the or not talk to, but all the I signed up to do the whole ceremonial thing. Yes, I did. I signed up to do the whole ceremonial thing. I am still not sure about that, but I signed up to be informed about all of it. We will see. We will see what happens. I'm considering walking, but I'm not certain that it's something I want to do. So, yeah, you always have to apply to give them time to run the paperwork and do all the things. And I've got some classes that I took that need overrides by the department. I should do it. I wonder if I can live stream it. That would be really cool. I wonder if I could live stream it. Then other people could watch it. I don't know. It would also give me something to focus on other than what's going on. I won't regret it if I walk. I didn't bother to even apply for my associates, and I didn't bother to walk or go. Oh, Lupita, you're so sweet. See, he wanted up. No, don't lick my face. I know the problem is sometimes I mind and sometimes I don't mind. Someone could do it undercover. Yeah, I mean, you guys wouldn't want me to live stream it. Me live streaming it means you guys couldn't see. I don't know if that would work. Anyhow, it won't be till spring. Oh, Cricket, you're so sweet. I think they do live stream it, if I recall correctly. They do live stream it. So people can watch. And we can have some sort of celebration for sure, you guys. Something like that. It's kind of a big deal. Costs $32 to graduate. No, it costs $32 to apply for graduation. And that doesn't count how much it'll cost to actually do the actual graduationing. Gowns and hoods and all of that. And I need the master's level stuff. So I still can't quite believe I'm going to graduate. I still can't quite believe I'm graduate. Attach my phone to a robot dog so you can walk too. Yeah, that's the thing. I mean, I've got to decide if I'm going to actually walk or if I'm going to try to use my wheelchair. There's a lot. There's a lot to no. Just because I'm talking doesn't mean I'm talking to you. Yeah. Aw, Cricket. You all have given me so much. I do not need presents. I mean, I said this, my year anniversary of doing regular streaming is coming up. Stop. Very quickly. It's coming up very quickly. My first live stream. Hush. Oh, I've got so many. My first live stream was in February, like the 20th, the 18th or the 20th of February. So we're almost a month away. Yes. We're almost a month away. In just about a month will be the year like you would listen. And so when I first started doing this, my psychiatrist was really concerned. My therapist, on the other hand, was really, really supportive and was continuing to talk about the therapeutic benefit that this channel had for me. You guys have done a lot for me. You are known brats. In fact, you've even been accused of being brats. At least I have. I do find it interesting, thinking back to the book again. Don't you guys find it interesting? The people who actively hold just a moment, guys. The fudge situation has been remedied, y'all. But I may still need to take an intermission in a few minutes. What other questions came up? Nobody had an answer to how do we how does L. Ron become successful with Scientology but fail so badly with Dianetics? Because I can't imagine that his control issues or his penchant for money issues were recovered and resolved. And I'm also curious how you'll talk to my psychiatrist. It's still cooling. We will check the temperature in a minute. Did you guys hear that? That was a deep, deep dog sigh. Yeah, I think, and then he was like, Carrie, I don't understand what your anxiety is about. You live stream on YouTube. I'm like, but you don't understand. That is different. That is different than this other stuff. And then he asked me questions like, how is it different? These psychiatrists, I don't know, maybe I'm with L. Ron on them. They are something else again. For sure. You'd think he hung on to more control with Scientology than he did with Dianetics. And I don't think he ever bounced back from the bad press. Interesting. Well, he deserved that bad press. I mean, hold on just a moment. Interruptions by children, interruptions by fudge. Psychiatrists are just there to sign off on the medication. In my opinion, that's all I expect from them. Yes, indeed. And Cricket, my response to him was, my therapist approves. And he did drop it after that. He hasn't said another word. I told him my therapist approved, and that was the end of that. And yeah, he deserved that bad press like nothing else. Guys, I have to say, I am finding so many interesting papers on YouTube and parasocial relationships. It's got me thinking about how parasocial relationships develop into high control groups, or can develop into high control groups. So that's an interesting thing. The thing I was going to ask earlier that I got distracted from was, now it just went out of my head again. Seriously, it just went out of my head again. There's one point that sticks with me. I've always heard him quoted as saying, if you want to get rich, start a religion. But in the book, it says cult instead of religion. Does it really? Huh, now I'm doing a search because Kindle lets. If you want to get rich, start a cult. Yep, that's what it says. It doesn't say start a religion. Oh, no, it also says start a religion. It says both. It says start a religion in chapter 7, and it says start a cult in chapter 8. The wonder of Kindle. He believed the bad press was biased against him. Yes, he believed he didn't deserve it. It says both, which is interesting. Yeah, so let me try that again. I was talking about parasocial relationships and high control groups, and that brought me back to something else I had been talking about that still isn't coming back to me. John Atack maintains he never uttered the start a religion line, but he did ask his assistant in a letter about the religion angle. Interesting, Adam. How would John know that he never uttered it in the 40s? I mean, if other people are reporting that he said it, at least that's what it sounds like. Although, how he's getting dialogue and reports like that, well, from the 40s, people are still alive, I suppose. People are still alive. So, I mean, that's a long time ago, but somebody had to have gotten that idea. Maybe, I mean, maybe it was backseated. I suppose that could be. It could have become lore and people outside the community heard it too. So there's that. Oh, I know what I was going to talk about. Don't you find I find it so interesting that here and there, it appears that there are people who go, wait a second, this guy is a quack. It appears that several times that there are people who do that. And the first time I remember it happening in the book was when the Army or the Navy, the military, said this guy is worthless and wanted nothing to do with him. But then in chapter 5, when he's staying at Jack Parsons' place, this guy named Neeson Himmel wasn't impressed by the guy. And even checked up on him and even talks about liking to try and trip him up. And I remember there was in another chapter, in an earlier chapter, there was another character who he ran into who didn't quite believe him. So there are these people here and there who get the scam and scream about it. But they're met with such rancor that they just decide to clam up and go away, which I find very interesting. Very, very interesting. They are unimpressed with this man and decide that we are doing Barefaced Messiah, Mandy. We are talking about chapters, let me see if I can remember now. I think chapters 7 through 9. I think, yeah, chapter 7 through 9. How are you doing? The big cat is hiding, but you get a nice puppy. The big cat is actually right there. Yeah, the one they really like to see because they never see him. Yeah. Lack of conscience was his armor. Something like that, Adam. His Aunt Helen began to realize something was off with him in his early years. Did she really, Lupita? I know you're reading Sherry Frank's book. I remember you mentioning that, Mandy. How is it? I can't wait to see the video when you're done. Yeah, there he is. Look at him right there. There's his pretty face. There's his pretty face. He's doing pretty good. He wouldn't leave me alone this evening, and I realized that what he wanted was up in his front pack. So he's up in his front pack. It's sad and crazy. I bet it is, Mandy. One of the hard things about Barefaced Messiah is the mental health issues that L. Ron was dealing with are really front and center. And so blatantly apparent um, that he was just very much struggling. The delusions of grandeur, the uh, fear of being, what's the word I want? Constant fear of being followed. I mean, he just and and I guess it's hard to tell if he actually felt that way or if he was making it up. And I still maintain that it seems to have gotten worse after he came out of the military, although I've got no good reason for thinking that at all. Not a one. He didn't he didn't seem to have encountered any situations. Temporal lobe epilepsy theory. What theory is that, Adam? I didn't know there was a temporal lobe epilepsy theory. That that would explain a lot of his behavior. I mean, the man is clearly mentally ill based on the description of his behavior. Yuval Leor speculates that Hubbard could have had temporal lobe epilepsy. Oh, because of temporal lobe epilepsy and religious experiences too. That would make so much sense. He wasn't on meds, but on he wasn't on meds for temporal lobe epilepsy. Were they even able to diagnose temporal lobe epilepsy in the 40s? Oh yeah, it could have been from all sorts of different he was an antidepressant in the 40s, Mandy? In the 40s and 50s? I know he was on all sorts of stuff at the end, but I'm not seeing that he was on any sorts of meds or had any mental health treatment to speak of in the 40s and 50s. Yeah, but he wouldn't, I mean, I don't know, it's just interesting. Yeah. Yeah, that's what I thought, Mandy. And I'm talking about, you know, how it very much appears from the biography, at least, that his symptoms got worse after he left the military. That whatever was going on, his behaviors escalated. Hold on just a moment, folks. I don't remember if he was a drinker. I don't get yeah, he could have had a concussion. That's true. A major traumatic brain injury. Yeah, that could have happened while he was in the military for sure. For sure. Because while he wasn't the greatest guy before the army. Did you check the temperature? Where is it? Okay. It's warmer than 125 degrees still, guys, so it's not time to beat the fudge yet. The epilepsy is speculative. Exactly, Adam. We're just post-diagnosing without actual diagnoses. There are people who are actually qualified to diagnose people from afar. And I think we would certainly have enough of Elron's behavior to be able to do that if we wanted a professional opinion. I expect professional opinions have been offered. It's an interesting theory, especially with the association between temporal lobe epilepsy and religious experiences. It's a good theory. Yeah. I like it. So nobody thinks it's interesting that there's just people here and there raising the alarm or not being convinced by him. But nobody, he was already a con man prior to Scientology, but it was after the war that it was after the war that it seems to have become all consuming. I mean, he did crazy shit and was working he wasn't a good manager of money. He was distractible. There were all kinds of things. All kinds of things. Lost my train of thought. I shouldn't open my eyes to read chat. It's human behavior to believe what you want to believe. Con artists prey on that then and now. Indeed. And that's what I was talking about. Individual people who saw it, who distanced themselves, but didn't get much traction when they tried to call out his behavior or abuses. They were dismissed, it seems. Or they felt it wouldn't be successful to say or do anything. Visatril, the drug he was on at the end, is condemned by the Council for Human Rights as a dangerous psych drug. Of course it is, Adam. It's just the hatred. You're not convinced L. LeBron believed all. No, I'm not convinced he believed all the things he said either. I'm not saying he believed it. I'm saying he was mentally ill. He was on benzos too. Why? Yeah, and he surrounded himself with people that supported him. I mean, think about it. He was able to get that commission in the military just by shining people on, just by asking for letters. People just intuitively trusted him. I mean, good conscienced, seemingly good conscienced people just seemed to trust him. You think so, Adam? He got conned by his own con? I think he believed in Dianetics. I think he believed in Dianetics. It's pretty big delusions of grandeur for him to have believed everything he said. But I don't know, was he a true believer? Yeah, that's the interesting thing, Mandy. He wasn't a failed science fiction writer after the war. He was a very successful, well regarded science fiction writer, well regarded by top fiction writers now. Isaac Asimov thought he was a great guy. Now, that all changed, but at the beginning of the war, that's where he stood. And he could have stepped back into those boots. In fact, yeah, he could have stepped back into those boots. At the end of his life, he wanted an extra powerful e-meter that would blast the Thetans off of him. Which, Mandy? What no which? According to the book, he was a very successful science fiction writer, and many in the top, I mean, many of the top science fiction writers of the era regarded him well. Yes, he did, Lupita. He did have that ability. It was reminiscent of someone else. Uh, some other orange balloon. Yes, brain fog. Charisma. One orange balloon to another orange balloon. He did have, yeah, Mandy, it is craziness. People, I mean, he was really well regarded in the science fiction world. Not, I didn't get that all the other writers thought that. I got that some of the other writers. Now you guys tell me if I'm wrong and I'm just not reading, I'm missing things in the book. That wouldn't surprise me. That is entirely possible. The books made money. Yes. Well, the Dianetics books made money. He made more money off of offering the Dianetics classes. Moderately successful. I'm not saying that he continues to be any good. I think there were probably a lot of writers back then who haven't stood the test of time in the same way, for example, Asimov has. But at the time, contemporaneously, he was living a moderately successful life as a writer. And he came back and did nothing. I mean, why not jump back into that saddle? Sci-fi made money, you're sore it's dated now? It is dated now. Sure. Yes, sure makes more sense from the don't like sci-fi chick. No sci-fi, but you like fantasy, right, brain fog? So guys, we have blown right through first Minnesota goodbye. And we are at second Minnesota goodbye. And the fudge is still cooling. In terms of social status alone, he wasn't Ayn Rand. That's the kind of success he wanted. Oh. Interesting, Adam. Interesting. So I hear TikTok is back up, y'all. I guess everybody's happy about that. Oh, not into fantasy either. But you like Princess Bride. Isn't that fantasy? He is sleeping like a baby, you guys. Sleeping like a baby. Look at this. Yes, Lupita, that's a good point. He was just writing for a commercial market, and he wasn't. I mean, it's interesting that he was so well regarded for somebody who was taking so little care with his work. He was just cranking things out. Yes, he is a big baby. So it was definitely more commercial, and it was definitely more rote. Yes, a way for him to make a quick buck. Really brain fog. Scientology is a giant vehicle to promote his success fantasy. It certainly does that. It paints a portrait of him as larger than life. I mean, to be fair, Ayn Rand does not have offices in every major city kept with his cigarettes and e-meter at the ready for when he walks in. I want to know what the process is when somebody says that they are L. Ron reincarnated. How are they going to guess that? How not guess it? How are they going to figure that out? That somebody really is or is not L. Ron Hubbard reincarnated? I mean, do you just walk in and say, "Take me to my office"? How it's been a while, and Miscavige certainly doesn't want anybody usurping his authority. So in some ways, he's done better than Ayn Rand. In some ways, he's done better. I don't know. I'll call the damage about even. Did you guys hear me? We hit second Minnesota goodbye. Yes, exactly. Exactly, Scooter Mom. They'll put whoever it is through all sorts of tests and they will fail them all. Did he write that himself, Lupita? The fictionalization of his life? Or did he have other people write for him? I just think it's sad that people here and there said this guy isn't any good. And the attacks in response worked. And scared people off. And it seemed he wrote his own bio for Scientology. Of course he did. Of course he did. It's your dry humor. It's a good joke, Lupita. But apparently, Scooter Mom is backing you up and says he wrote his own bio for Scientology. So you're stranger than reality. Lots of mistrust there. And it's pretty sad. It's pretty sad. He was an excellent liar. The person they talk about in the Scientology orientation film is the person he wanted to be. Yes. He got I th- I don't know. I don't think he was living in the real world. Right, brain fog? I mean, the more I read, the more they sound like version 1.0 and 2.0. Just so much alike. Very much alike. So I'm curious, you guys, with all this reading that I've been doing about YouTube and parasocial relationships and greetings, what do you think? Do you think technology brings people together or pushes them further apart? Or do you think it's a mixed bag? As I tend to think it's a mixed bag. I tend to think new ways drive out old ways, and it's difficult in the process of adapting to the new ways. He likes it in the front pack, y'all. That's an ear. His nose is right there, right about there. I think it's a mixed bag depending on how people tend to use it. I think so too. Parasocial relationships, closer to the people online. Yes, Lupita. It can bring people together. I think maybe it's just different types of bringing people together. I mean, I try to make this a welcoming space where everyone feels welcome and happy to be here. Um, it's an interesting analogy, Adam. Tends to unmask the real underlying self. Better for the anxiety disordered, worse for the people who want to be out and about. Yeah, there's that brain fog. That's a big one when they talk about the bad effects of technology, I always want to say, but what about this subset of people? What about this subset of people? It's not just all bad. Yeah, and we did do prohibition. It didn't work, though. It's not something that's going to work. Yeah, the holograms are probably really, really interested in the technology being maintained. That would be, if I was a hologram, that's what I would say, is that it's perfect for holograms. Absolutely perfect for holograms. So if we're talking about parasocial is one-sided. It's a parasocial relationship until you interact with the creator. Fight Club or Thunderdome. Okay, Blaring Fog. We watched the new Mad Max movie. What's the new Mad Max movie called? Have some people not hit the like button, antics? You guys, hit the like button and subscribe, please. Yeah, you guys need to hit the like button. Get those like buttons up. So, Lupita, at some point, if you continue to hang out in my chat, yes, Furiosa Papa Cat, thank you. Our relationship would transition from more parasocial to less parasocial, right? It was good. It was hard to watch. But they were kind and cut at the right moments. So they only hinted at a lot of what was going on, a lot of the worst of what was going on. At least that's, maybe that was just me closing my eyes. That could be too. Just me closing my eyes. So, somebody who's watching the chat, Lupita, and never participating in the chat with me, or if I didn't interact directly with chat, I haven't antics. In fact, I mentioned it to my husband. It is next on our list when we finish The Equalizer, which is got enough story in it to be pleasant. It is pablum, but it is tasty pablum. I have had worse by a lot. And watching Queen Latifah, I mean, I'd watch it just because she's in it, but the fact that it's pleasant to watch, and relatively entertaining, even if it might be rote sometimes, has got me entertained. And that is what I ask for. But Severance is definitely next on the list. Lupita, does that make sense? That this area here where we're having interaction, but we don't have a personal relationship yet, is kind of there's a spectrum, right? From fully parasocial to not parasocial at all. And so this is not fully parasocial because all of you all interact with me. So it can't be fully parasocial. Right? But if I didn't interact with the chat, it would be more parasocial. You can't watch anything, it'll cancel. Oh, brain fog. That's the worst. Do you watch stuff after it's been canceled? That's a terrible cross to bear, brain fog. I am sorry for that. I am sorry for that. Anybody else have any good shows since we put Severance on the list? I have to say, network television does these 18 episode seasons. We've gotten really used to 11 episodes per season. So 18 episode seasons is like, wow, y'all. She killed Buffy. That's why mostly documentaries and true crime. That's a terrible curse, brain fog. I mean, you got Netflix, you got Apple TV. There's a whole universe of stuff that's already been canceled that you could watch now. She killed Buffy. That's terrible, brain fog. Oh my goodness, y'all. It is Third Minnesota Goodbye. Let's put it on a pause. You think many times the acquaintanceships people call friendships are as parasocial as online relationships. I think, Adam, it depends on how much of your interaction is direct and not over mediated forms. I mean, not like meeting in person, but phone calls and texting and those sorts of more direct interactions. That's funny, brain fog. So I think you're right, but I think it's a spectrum. I think that's the issue, that it's a spectrum. You've got and are online friends real friends? I mean, yeah, they are. Are they different? Yeah, they are. But I don't know, there's a point that people become real. I'm not sure what it is. I'm not sure what it is. The acquaintanceships people call friendships are parasocial as parasocial as on run. Yeah. Oh, the in real life, you mean, Adam? Just regular acquaintances in real life, you can have parasocial relationships that are acquaintanceships. That's an interesting idea. In an increasingly fake world, how do we continue to value authenticity, y'all? What is it that denotes authenticity? What is it? And is authenticity even a trait that people want? Why did I pick out authenticity? Because it's one of the things that's important to me, that people are actually authentic, that we're not seeing a hologram. Extraordinary attorney woo. Okay, Lapita. Extraordinary attorney woo. Stop. That's an excellent title. Extraordinary. Okay, stop. Stop. Attorney woo. I will look it up. Lori, what did I say about a puppet antics? How are you doing, Lori? I have missed you. I have missed you a lot. Yeah, trust your instincts. Pay attention to your track record. Pay attention to the instincts. I think something that's really important to me to do, I don't know if you guys do that, is I also pay attention to the instincts of other people around me. That's really important. to get a broad spectrum of feedback. I bet it is, Lori. I bet it is brutal cold in Edmonton. Are you having to be outside? Yep, trust in your intuition. Yes, Lupita. Indeed. Lori, I think you just won Third Minnesota Goodbye, dear. I think you just won Third Minnesota Goodbye. You guys? Is that what happened? Lori, you won Third Minnesota Goodbye, honey. Let me pull it up. There it is. Here it is. Third Minnesota Goodbye, Lori. Check that out. That one's lovely. Just lovely. It is nice to see you, dear. I hope you like it, Lori. Cricket, are you here? You got quiet all of a sudden. I think it's a moonscape, it looks like. You email me, Lori? It looks like a moonscape on my monitor, Scooter Mom. But I can see the waves. I can totally see how it'd look like an ocean too. That's cool. I like it. I mean, that's what I was saying about wanting to get other people's opinions. I like it when I hear what other people see, because then it's fun to look at it through those eyes and see. Lori, you're hilarious. And see where Scooter Mom's seeing the waves from. Yeah, but it looks like rocks. Exactly. It's hilarious, Lori. Hilarious. Everybody for making it on time. Lupita won first in. Do you want to see the first in prize? It was so pretty. Hold on. I got to pull it up because I put it away. I should know better than putting them away. Here we go. This was the first in picture. Scooter Mom, I totally see the water. That's what I'm thinking. It's so cool to hear that and then see it through somebody else's eyes. Right? I can totally see where you see water. I see it too. Makes perfect sense to me. This is why I'd like to hear and be exposed to lots of different perspectives. Because I might have been wrong. I could have been wrong. It's being able to look at it through both eyes that I find valuable. And I think that relates a lot to creating community and being authentically me. Something that's important to me. I don't know why I got off on that tangent. I just think it's really cool. You guys, Orion has been sitting here in this front pack for almost the whole show. For almost the whole show. And I think we're checking the temperature again. And if it's at the right temperature, I should let you guys go and go do the beating. We will hear what the husbeast says. Where are we? 111. Okay. No, beat it. Okay, you guys, it got a little extra cold. I am going to go do the beating. My husband is getting everything started. I will report on the fudge on Wednesday. I am live on Wednesday for Wheel of Wednesday. Yes, I'm going to go take care of the fudge right now. It got a little cold. Hubby was keeping an eye on it for me, and it cooled off faster than either of us expected. So we're going to go get it beaten up. Just beat it exactly. And I will catch all of you all. Oh, and Thursday night, Brain Fog and I will be live here on my channel at 7 o'clock Pacific time. So I will see you Wednesday night and Thursday night, y'all. Until then, have a good one.